Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the cost of living in the United Kingdom. This is largely dependent on what part of the UK you're staying, how many your family is. For me, I'm a family of 5 with 3 children, my husband and myself. Depending on how large your family is, it may vary from individual. If you're alone, of course, you're not going to spend maybe half what I'm going to be spending for the family of 5. So stay tuned. In case you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment below. If you stay in the city center, like the main towns, like you have London, you're going to spend more on compared to when you're in the countryside, like places that are smaller. In Northern Ireland, life is a bit cheaper compared to people who are in London, Scotland, and other parts of the UK. So if you're going to be staying in London, or if you're in London, this does not apply to you because it is extremely expensive in London. For instance, rents. What someone who is going to rent a 1-bedroom flat in somewhere like Northern Ireland, or 2-bedroom flat in Northern Ireland, will only help you rent 1 room in London. When you're outside London, or you're in a small village, especially countryside, in places that are closer, there are also kind of villages, but it's not like the village thing that you have in Africa and the rest of it. It is a village, but just a small place close to the city center that has all the facility you need. They have everything, but it is more of the countryside. It's a bit farther away from the city center. There are not as much industry as you have in the city center, so life there is cheaper, way cheaper. It is more family friendly. If you've got family, I would advise you, if you're coming to the UK, to consider staying in countryside, because those busy life, especially in London, is going to maybe too busy for you, and you just have a rough estimate of what you are going to spend from your salary in the UK. Let's talk about rent. Largely, Northern Ireland is extremely cheap. I have a colleague who says she has a 4-bedroom flat in Northern Ireland and she's paying just £550 for 4-bedroom flats. While for me, in a 3-bedroom flat, I'm paying £720 for a 3-bedroom flat. So you see the difference. If you're in London, that particular amount may just help you rent maybe 1 room or 1-bedroom flat. You're not going to be able to get a big space with just 500, 600. So where you're going to be staying is going to be very different. Just have a little bit of idea of what to expect and what I'm talking about. When I first came to the UK, I rented a room. It's called shared apartment. I was living with a family that has 3-bedroom flats, or they have 4-bedroom flats. I don't know how many flats they've got. They've got extra rooms and they were not using. I guess their children has moved out, so they were renting out one of the rooms and they used it as a kind of B&B. There's some that are B&B. I stayed in a B&B. I stayed in the hotel. I also still rented a 1 room with a family. So that 1 room, I was paying 400 for just a small box room. Is not, they call it single room. I was paying 400 for the room. It is not attached bathroom. My colleague who was in an attached bathroom was paying 550 for a double room. That's, the room is bigger and it has its own attached bathroom and toilet. So she was paying 550. So just imagine the difference between getting a 1 room, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom is not so much. Sometimes it's just about £50, £100. It's not so large for the comfort. So, but for a 3-bedroom flat, you should be paying about 600 to 750, 800 is not too expensive. But if you're somewhere like a Northern Ireland, you may be expecting something like 550, 500, 650, like that. So just depend on where you're staying and how many rooms you're going to be getting. But it's not so expensive largely anyway. So my rent presently is 720. I pay council tax. Council tax is paid to the government, where the council tax covers your council tax covers your sewage, your water, your maintenance of the community generally. And currently I'm paying about 120 because I've got family. If you're single, you can apply for a single occupancy discount. They're going to, when I was alone, I wasn't paying that much because I was paying about 70 something pound a month for single occupancy discount. It also contains water, but if you're in Northern Ireland, I don't think you need to pay for water. But other part of the UK, you have to pay for your water, and it's all included in the council tax. Initially, when I first came, I was like, oh, I don't want to waste my water, I don't want to use my water. No, you just generalize according to the band of the house you're staying or the area where you're staying. That's how you're going to be charged for your water, and everything is in the council tax. So my council tax was reduced when I was alone because I applied for single occupancy discount. There are a lot of discounts you can apply for. You can apply for single occupancy, people who are maybe single mother, student discount. There are a lot of discounts you can apply for in council tax. But if you've got your family, you have to also indicate that no, your family are here now, so the council tax has to be changed. When my family came over, I had to like inform the council that my family is here now, the discount should be taken away, so it's not like you're cheating the community. You know what I'm talking about. For my broadband is like the one we call our internet. In Nigeria we call it MTN, Glo, and the rest of it. Here broadband, they're the one that supplies your internet. They give you Wi-Fi. You can have they will ask you how many laptop you've got, how many phones, to know the capacity of the gig you need, how fast you want your broadband to be. When I switch over to TalkTalk for me presently is fast. I'm paying just £20, 19.75p. So it's less than £20, just as it's £20 per month. For my phone bill, for £15 per month, I'm able to access unlimited text message, unlimited call, 15 megabytes per month. But if you don't need it, it's not compulsory. There's Wi-Fi everywhere. There's Wi-Fi in your office, there's Wi-Fi in your house. So if sometimes I don't recharge because I don't need it, I only go from house to the office and I can easily shuttle the Wi-Fi. So it's not compulsory to have the phone bill. But if you're going to be using a phone for your phone bill, you may need about £15 per month. Electricity bill, presently I'm paying £70 per month because I switched my electricity to another provider. Initially I was paying about 90, sometimes 100. It was not constant, but then I found out that no, I was not comfortable with what I was paying, so I switched over to Bob, and Bob presently is charging me £70 per month. And what they do is you pay the same amount both in summer and in winter, but generally you're using more power during winter because then you have to heat your water, you have to keep heating, you need to keep heating the house, so you tend to use more electricity during winter than you will use in summer. But what they do is both in summer and in winter, in summer you don't use much electricity, so you're going to be reserving some amount of money from your electricity bill. Like they'll be building it up for you so they can use it to balance up when it is winter. And it is easier, it is more cheap to run electricity in the night than it is in the day. What they charge you per minute in the night is cheaper than what is more than half what they will charge you in the day. So it is better to do maybe your washing. I know sometimes it not be convenient, even me, I don't abide by it, but I just do whatever suits me. It's easier to run anything from 11, 12 in the night, run your washing. I've set my heater to heat in the night, reserve the water, and I use it over the day. So my heater has been set to run over the night. Some people use this electricity and some people use gas, but for me, I use just electricity in the whole house. And £70 is not too much for a bill per month. For transportation, if you're not driving, you need to be taking the bus, and the bus tickets, sometimes you need to pay. Most bus tickets are per day. If you buy a ticket, it can be just single trip. If you ask for a return trip, it's going to take you to and from. For example, you can get a single trip for £2.70, £1.50, depending on the zone, how far you're going and how it has been zoned. But if you're going to get a return ticket, that's a return ticket will take you to and fro. You can get it for like maybe £5 and you can use it for the whole day on the bus. Like, it's more economical than buying single trips and going and coming. If you have multiple places to go, you may need a day saver. It is going to be cheaper for you. For instance, you can have £5, £8. I don't know where you're going to stay. If you're in London, you will need the Ulster card, and the Ulster card I think is pre-charged. You just need to tap it in. Even other part of the UK also, there's a card you can get that will cover you for some amount of trips, and maybe from £80. If you're going to be taking the train is a little bit expensive than the bus, but it's faster. Your daily, I don't know how you're going to be going to work, depending on the routes you're going to be using. If it's the bus, you may be spending like £1.70 to £5 a day. If it's train, you may be spending like maybe £9 a day. I don't know. But if you have your car, I think it's more expensive to maintain car, but it is more comfortable because UK is cold and it's very uncomfortable waiting for buses. If you're going to be running your car, you're going to need to pay your road tax. That one you pay for maybe a whole year, can be 100, 150, up to 300, depending on the type of car you're using. Then if you're going to be fueling your car weekly, depend on how you use your car also. And for me, generally, over maybe in a month I can fuel the car for £100. Let me just say a rough estimate, because I don't go about as such. Maybe £100 a month will fuel your car. Then you talk about your insurance. Every month my insurance is about, because we're two people on the insurance, you can add your husband, your partner, your wife, anyone you want to drive, your car must be insured. So a rough estimate of 200 will maintain my car, apart from repairs and every other thing. And for if you're taking the bus, maybe about 180 a month, 120, depending on how far where you're going to be working will be. And it's very advisable, especially if you're single and you get a good house, look for a house that is close to your office, so to just save you all the cost of running a car or all the transportation costs. Get an average cup of coffee about 2 to 2.5 pound, and a cup of tea from £1 to 1.75. So it's less than £2 to get a cup of tea, or to take a little drink outside. Ice cream from £1 to 1.2 £2, depending on the size also. And if you want to eat out in maybe restaurants, you can have a plate of decent meal, maybe a Chinese meal, you can have it for £7, £8. Chips, they're cheap. Eating out can cost you from £5 to £7, so it's not that expensive. And it's also wise also to eat out. Most if you want to save your money, it's better you just eat out once in a while. If you take alcohol, if you're the type that drinks alcohol is cheaper to buy in the shops than you go to the pub or to the bars. Because when you go to the pub, they can sell a pint of alcohol, which is just maybe 1 cup for maybe £2. But when you go to buy it, you can get a whole bottle, maybe a full bottle of wine for £5 to £6. A full bottle of whatever alcohol, I don't know, maybe £1, I don't know how much. It is just cheaper to buy in the shops than you buy in the pub. It's just cheaper. You know by now that health is free. Prescriptions are free in part of the UK. In Scotland, prescription is free, but in some other part of the UK, you have to pay for maybe just a little amount of money for doctor's prescription, but the medication and the treatment and every other thing will be free. So, and education is also free for children, young children. Education is free. Depending on where you're staying, also you can have university free. So for me, I'm not paying for school fees. You only pay monthly. I pay for their milk, snacks, just little things. You can have the uniform. It's not monthly also. For where I stay, gym membership is £35, and the gym membership, you'll be able to use the swimming, the sauna, the hot baths, the jacuzzi, there's jacuzzi, soft play, and you can use it in all the area. Like if you go to the next village, if it's in the same zone, you can use your membership any part of the side you are staying. I don't know how it works in other part of the UK, but for me, gym membership is £35, and it covers a lot of things just for a single person, not for family. Shopping, because that's the important part. That's the part that takes a lot of the money, because you have to eat. Your body is the engine, you need to survive. So shopping is good. If you're not so rich, go to shops that are cheaper. Like we have Aldi, Asda, Poundland, Pennyland. Is it Pennyland or Penny Shop? Tesco's. There's some shops that are cheaper and some that are very expensive. You get the same thing for the same brand, the same quality, but just the packaging, I don't know the name of the shop. Some are just so cheap and some are just so expensive. It can cost me up to £200 a month to buy everything. I will be showing you an example of a list, something I just bought recently, and how much it cost me. Depending on how, if you're buying things in bulk, of course you're going to spend more. If you're the type that buy things maybe one like that, you're going to be going to the shop every day. But if you're buying in bulk, sometimes you're not going to be counting the things you buy that last you for 5-6 months. But apart from those things, like the oil, apart from those things, maybe £200 for someone with family. But if you're alone, it shouldn't be costing more than £50, £60, £70 a month if you don't eat too much. is not too expensive compared to what you earn anyway, and I think it's the most important thing in life apart from clothes. Feeding, your food should be, it's very important. If you don't have food, the body will not function well. The body is the engine, so you have to take it as priority. No matter how broke you are going to eat. So for what you earn, spending 200 for family or £100 a month for a single person is not too much. So I spend about 200. Apart from maybe African food, if I go to African shop, I can also buy things for the family for maybe 1 month, can cost me up to £200 also. So let's say for feeding can be about 300 to 400, but it will last me more than 1 month. Because when I go to African shop, I buy in Amazon Prime. I subscribe, I pay £7 a month or 70 something pound a year, and it will give you access to free video, second next day delivery, because I do a lot of shopping on Amazon. Second day delivery, free video, free music on my Alexa app and my Alexa device. So £7 every month. That what goes to my ordering and my movies. But you can also get Netflix. I think Netflix is about £12 a month, but I don't use Netflix. I use Amazon Video. TV license. To watch TV legally in the UK, you need to get a TV license, and it is 157.70p a year, or £53 for black and white. Divided by 12, it's going to be a little bit higher than what you pay. I think that's everything I can remember I spend, apart from the other miscellaneous of, when you want to, other things that you just spend money on, like clothes. No, those ones are not essential. Shops are also cheap. There's some packaging shop that their things are very expensive. So that is generally everything. By the time you spend half of your salary, if you're, if you've got family and you need like 2-3 bedroom flat, remember you're going to be joining the salary of 2 people. So by the time you spend half of the salary, I think you'll be comfortable, you'll be happy. Your family size, your location, your lifestyle, your hobby, your interest, it's also lifestyle. So that's it. Please, in case you're not subscribed, please, I'm joking. In case you're not subscribed, please press the subscribe red button below and click on the notification bell. So whenever I upload my video, you're going to be the first to know that I've uploaded my video. You will never miss my video again. Please have a good day. Bye.